Hey guys, Allison Caldwell here, Ruby Ambassador with Plexus, and I wanted to take a minute and talk about leadership with you guys. I know sometimes it feels like you're stuck. I've been stuck a couple times already. Thankfully not for too terribly long, but I feel like I've been stuck trying to get to Senior Ruby for longer than I had planned or should have, and I think that had a lot to do with my leadership lid. If you're not familiar with that, go on to YouTube and look it up. The leadership lid is a principle by John Maxwell, and it talks about you're not able to get past a certain level because your leadership has not increased. So that's something that I'm working really hard on right now, and I want to pass this down to you guys because I want you guys to be more confident as leaders as well. So I was watching a video by Tara Castaneda, and she was talking about the speech that Carrie Wilkerson gave at the Leaders Retreat in 2016, and that was right when I had started. Leaders Retreat is in October, and that was the year and the month that I started was October of 2016. So this was really, really cool. She was talking about leadership DNA, and I'm using a little bit of notes here. So leadership DNA, basically the D is for destination. And you got to have a little bit of healthy desperation in there. You have to have your why strong. If you're just kind of like, I'm just going to see what happens with this business and it's going to be good and I'm going to have a good time, and you don't have a powerful driving force, you don't have a reason, you don't have that healthy desperation, then it doesn't work the same. So you've got to have that driving force. You've got to have that healthy desperation of, okay, you know what? This is imperative. This is what's going to drive you to do your IPAs, to do those things every day, even on the days when you don't want to. So you got to have a little healthy desperation in there. You don't want to act desperate and crazy, but you want that healthy desperation. But D really and truly is for destination. And that is a lot like your why. And it has to be strong and it has to be clear. It can't be just, I'm going to be a diamond. Okay, great. What does that mean for you? What does that mean? And what does that destination look like for you? If you're a diamond, does that mean you get to retire your husband? Are you looking to pay for college tuition for your kids? Are you looking to be at home with your kids and maybe quit your full-time job? What kind of freedoms does this allow for you? Maybe it's you want to, give back to your church. Maybe you're wanting to go and open an orphanage in another country. Maybe you want to help your friend who's trying to adopt from another country. There are so many things that you can do with the kind of freedom that comes with that income, but you've got to be clear on what it is that you want so that you can drive yourself on those days when you're just not feeling it. And that can change, and that's okay. Your destination can change. My first destination was I have to get these products paid for because I couldn't afford it. It wasn't in my budget at all. So that was my first destination, and I couldn't really see, I thought diamond would be great, but I couldn't really see past that very well. So it's changing, it's evolving. Now my destination is to be able to provide things like horseback riding for my younger two children that we before couldn't put in the budget. My bigger destination is paying down debt right now from all of our years of healing Chris. So I have sort of a changing, evolving destination as well. And my ultimate goal is to retire Mark so that he doesn't have to worry about it. I mean, he can retire technically by years whenever he wants, but we're not set up for that right now. So I'm excited to be able to provide that opportunity for him to say, you know what? I'm not real happy with the job that you guys gave me, so I'm just going to retire. So when he stops having fun, he can just be done, and that's okay. And I'm excited to be able to offer that to him. So that is my destination right now. And that goes along with, you got to figure out where you're going, but you got to figure out who it's affecting. Because you are affecting people with the changes that you're making in your life. When you are building yourself up, when you are growing as a leader, you have a ripple effect. That ripple effect starts in your home with your family. It affects your friends. It affects your business. It affects the people that are in the business. I mean, our our business now, I mean, I was talking earlier, we're almost at 300 people in the Pink Drink Tribe, and that's amazing. And these are all lives that a lot of them at this point I did not know prior to Plexus. And so because I decided to share, this ripple effect is going down and people are getting their lives changed because I opened my mouth. So that kind of ripple effect is fabulous for me. And I want to be able to continue that along the way. Like, I want to be able to continue that effect. I want to pour positivity and belief into people. It's one of my very favorite things to do. So whatever your destination is, whatever is speaking to you in there, you need to keep your focus on that. Don't lose sight of it. Know what kind of impact you're wanting to have on the world with the freedom that this business offers, and keep that at the forefront of your mind. So sit down with your shareholders, that your family, your kids if they're old enough, your husband, your mom, whoever are your cheerleaders, whoever is the person that's going to say, you know what, let's get back to why you really want to do this. Sit down with them, make a plan, make a path, make a purpose. So you want to sit down and focus on exactly how this is going to happen. And the days when sometimes I'm frustrated, Mark's like, but this is going to get you where you want to be. This is how we get you where you want to be. And I'm like, yep, you're right. So he holds me accountable, and I need that sometimes, and I'm grateful for that. So know where you're going, get your shareholders on board, and as far as knowing where you're going, I mean, let's think about it kind of logically. If you don't know where you're going, how are you going to lead other people there? How can you help them? How can you lead them there if you're not sure where you're headed? So now we're on to the N. The N is for narrative. This one is huge. Mindset is so important in everything that you do. If you haven't read the book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, I would suggest doing that with me because I haven't read that one yet. I've heard about it. I've kind of dabbled, but I'm all into Audible right now because when I sit down to try to read a book, I get interrupted a million times. So I'm really excited about the Audible app, and I want to go on there, and that's the next book that I want to read, that I want to listen to, because I do it while I'm driving, because I go back and forth to Wilmington a lot. I have a lot of time sitting in the car, and I do a lot of YouTube videos when I'm in the car, but I would like to start that reading in there as well, because that's going to help as well. So basically your narrative, like what are you thinking? What are you telling yourself? What is that story going on in your head? Maybe things are tough. Maybe you're struggling. Maybe you're, trying to pay the bills. You're trying to put food on the table. Maybe you're in a bad relationship, or you're a single parent, or whatever's going on. If you're focusing on the negative, that's kind of what's going to happen. If you're like, you know what, this is too hard, everything's just hard, and I'm scraping by and nothing's changing, well then, right, nothing's changing because you're so focused on keeping it that way. So what you think about, you bring about. Whatever you think becomes what happens. So if you're thinking to yourself, you know what, I'm getting out of this. It's happening. It's going that way. That's what's happening. You will find a way because your brain is focused. You're not letting yourself off the hook by going, well, my situation has me here and there's nothing I can do. Well, if that's what you're thinking, then you're right, because your brain checks out and goes, hey, we don't need to do anything. She already said we're not doing it. So don't let yourself off the hook like that. Make a decision, decide that this is worth it. And, that narrative is shaping not only you and what you're thinking about and your family, it's shaping your team. It's affecting everyone's actions, because when my mindset is not good, I know that it trickles down. I hear from multiple team members after that when I kind of go, oh gosh, my mindset has been really bad. And I figure it out and I tell people and they go, mine's been really bad too, like that. I've been thinking the same thing. I've been struggling with that too. It trickles down, whether it's good or bad, it trickles down. So keep your mindset in check. There's the butterfly analogy as far as, when you have a caterpillar and it builds a cocoon and it actually kind of decomposes and breaks down and then becomes something else. So sometimes you have to go through that breakdown in order to have that breakthrough. Sometimes you really have to just break it down and start over. And that's kind of what I've been doing with my leadership stuff lately. I've been breaking it down and starting over because I don't think where I was at was a good place. We weren't growing, and I know that was because I wasn't growing. So that brings me to the next to the next letter, which is A. So A is for action. It's not thinking about your business. It's not going down to the store and buying a planner and figuring out all the days you're going to do things and, listening to videos and all that. That's not the action. Action is not copying other people. It is finding you, doing you, and being you. That is a huge part of it, and that allows you to get your IPAs done in a relatable and real way so that you're getting better responses. IPAs they're the action. They are the bread and butter of your business. If you're not doing income producing activities, you're not growing your business. You may be just spinning your wheels, rocking in your rocking chair, whatever you want to call it, but you're not making anything happen because you're not taking action. So IPAs are things like getting new customers, meeting with potentials, new enrollments, new leads, and duplicating these things down to your team and training. So you want to be reaching out, following up, doing the things that we know work in this business and duplicating that down and helping your team grow as well. And you have to get yourself into alignment, which is sort of like the secondary A. So when you're in alignment with your product, you're in alignment with your message, you're in alignment with your money, and you're in alignment with your mind. Those 4 things, you have got to get them together because those 4 things are going to change your business and change your thought process. Alignment with your products, you've got to be taking them. Get consistent. If you're forgetting something, figure out a way to make it consistent. If you're not sure what to do, ask around. Other people have been there, I guarantee you. Other people set their ProBio by their bed and forgot to take it all the time. It's happened. Don't worry about it. Ask for help. Say, listen, I'm having trouble getting consistent. I really want to be consistent with this. Get that alignment done. You need to be eating well. You can't expect people to believe that you're healthy when you're constantly out, posting about, cupcakes and hamburgers and whatever unhealthy things. Like every once in a while, people are going to have stuff and that's totally cool. But you've got to be in alignment with overall a healthy lifestyle as far as how you're eating because that's going to affect everything on the inside as well. We know that. Stop bashing companies. Fall in love with this company. Start loving what it is doing. Things get frustrating sometimes. I get it. I hear you. Try not to focus on that part. Focus on the things that are going really well. Definitely don't bash other companies. Love ours. Stop doubting things and start believing. Just decide that you're going to believe that. Tell yourself that over and over and over again until it becomes true. Align that mindset. Align where your money is. What you say is important, that's where your money's going. So if you're not really sure and it's not going to the right places, check it out. Get it into alignment. Put all these things together and do these things first and you won't be stuck. So that can be a big reason that a lot of times we get stuck in stuff. And the last thing I want to close with is to not blame where you are on your circumstances. Doesn't matter what's happening around you, what's happening in your life. Big things have happened to other people. I've heard stories of people whose spouse suddenly passed away and it was, okay, I have to make this work. Circumstances can be awful sometimes. But you are the only one who can change where you're at, and you're also the only one that can keep you where you're at. So if you're not totally happy, if you are not in living that destination that you want, you're the only one that can change it, and you're the only one that can keep you not there yet. So get everything in alignment, focus on your DNA, and reach out to me, reach out to your upline, whatever. Let us help you through all of this stuff because growing as a leader has changed everything for me. It's changing my family dynamic. It's changing the way that I relate to people. And it's all been so wonderful and such an incredible blessing. So I love you guys. Thank you for listening. Sorry it ran a little longer than I wanted, but I appreciate y'all so much, and I'm excited, and I totally have 100% sold out belief in you. Love ya.